Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Iowa soccer supporters. I'm Ben Brackett, your Soccer Talk co-host, here with my good buddy Blake Siebers. Siebes, another beautiful day at the state tournament.
Yeah, you guys get on the YouTube page because Ben's hair is absolutely all over the place.
Yeah, flock of
with the
seagulls
wind.
situation. I don't know what to do. Probably wear a hat, maybe would be a good idea, but too late now.
Yeah, the guy in the middle too doesn't have enough hair to be all over the place. So we got all sorts of things going on.
Yeah, so we're joined today by our good buddy Dan Rother with Top Student Athlete Recruiting. It's only taken me like 4 or 5 years.
I'm wearing the shirt today so you can read it.
Yeah, but
I thought you were looking down.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, we're just here watching. We just got done watching the 3A semifinal matchups. We had Norwalk as the 5 seed against Xavier as the 1 seed in the early game, and then just got done watching the Hoover Huskies against the Dallas Center Grimes Mustangs. The Mustangs are the top seed, and Hoover was the 6th seed. No, the second
BCG
seed.
was
Yes.
the 2 seed.
Okay, and then that would make
Hoover
the
6.
6th
Hoover
seed.
6.
Okay,
Hoover 6.
fair enough. Thank you, Siebers. So let's talk a little bit about that first game. I think did we all pick the Saints? I definitely did.
Yeah, I think so.
And we had a little bit of an upset, didn't we, Siebes?
Yeah. Kralik, whether it's his last year or not, trying to keep it going. He had the shades on as at the halftime walk and talk. Scott Epke gave him a little shout out. Like, look at the hair and the shades. He's young. He's still got a lot of life left in him, but his boy's a senior, and they went out on top.
He's in his 20-something season, so it's not like he hasn't put his time in. But
talk about the game a little bit, though. Right?
Well,
Xavier hit the post at the bar there in the first half off that free kick. And
I mean, it's pretty even for a while, and then I think the depth, when Norwalk's depth kind of took over a bit. And obviously, they were here last year, right? Norwalk went pretty far. Xavier kind of got knocked out early. I think maybe the atmosphere was new for Xavier. And then, set plays, right? There was a free kick and a corner kick. And then the kid gobbled up second balls, and the first one, did you see it on the Instagram? It's like he flicks it up.
It's all
to
over Instagram, not just on ours. It's on everybody's.
Yeah, man.
might be a goal of the year, not just goal of the week.
Yeah, and it's
right?
Eli Scavo, I think is his name.
That's right.
He'd scored 20 goals going into the game, or maybe he was going into the tournament. He scored 3 in the tournament so far, so I don't know if that puts him at 22 or 23 technically, but
A great goal. Fantastic.
Yeah. So I think it's always interesting in these state tournaments. You got a lot of these seniors playing potentially it's definitely their last high school game, and a lot of times maybe their last competitive game. And so you see a lot of these seniors having just awesome performances, playing out of their mind.
Decent little atmosphere, too, right? Norwalk was on the other side. Had some folks. Xavier, maybe just because I stood behind him or in the middle of him, but just argued and whined for every single thing, and it was just to me, it got to a point where the referee made some he would call a foul, and it was just rah 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 rah, and
There was definitely a contrast between the two.
yeah. But the big moment there in the second half, the penalty.
Oh yeah,
Right?
definitely.
That's
So Norwalk's up 2-0, and shortly after that, they give up a penalty on the other side that was not really questioned. They didn't even complain about it either. I don't think they just were "Wow, that was a
Legit foul.
Goalkeeper stepped up. So this goalkeeper is
tell the
famous,
story. This is
kick it
good.
forward famous. He won goal of the week last year, play of the week last year, after he scored a header as a game-winning header as a goalkeeper. So
That was a
anyway,
massive save.
yeah, and so he
was good.
He was
as
yes,
well.
He made a lot of good
all
saves.
day. He had a shutout against Marion, right? And they smashed Marion.
Yep.
On Wednesday.
Yeah, and a great save, though, on the penalty, dove to his right, and I overheard him talking to another reporter, and they just sort of asked him what was in his preparation and whatever, and he said that they'd actually seen film of this guy take penalties, and he goes to his right, so he just said he trusted the scout, and that was what he was on Johnny on the spot.
I was going to ask Dan. So Dan also doubles as the Dubuque senior coach. Unfortunately got knocked out by Iowa City High. But how do you guys, do you guys talk about late in the season in substage? You talk about penalties?
Oh, definitely. So, you can see enough of them online, right? So, Wienerberg, right? I can see every kid's penalty, so I go through and like, okay, this kid goes right, this kid goes left. You know,
Shout
like,
out Wienerberg Sports.
You know, Kralik, he asked me, he sent me, he said, can you trade tape? You know, and which way? You know, I said, I know some pens. Here you go. You know.
Oh, somebody's taking a little credit. I love it. I love it.
I don't even know if he went that way. I think there were 2 on Wienerberg, and he went both ways. I think the same guy went both ways.
Yeah.
So I think he's gone both ways this year. So I don't know. You know, that is what it is. You just kind of guessing at that point. But
Well, speaking of Kralik, we should give a quick little chirp for his son Tegan, the number 10. He assisted both goals and really controlled things from the middle of the park. I would say most of the game. He doesn't always like play forward and put people under pressure, but he always relieves pressure by keeping the ball, finding a nice pass out wide or back, and his service was great.
Service is great, and his fitness level is
Dude, you run forever.
Top of the charts.
Do you notice he was off the field for the penalty though? And I just, Dustin, I'll have a go at you a little bit. Like, don't take the boy off because he's such an impactful player, right? And I don't know. It's interesting too, right? He takes corners left-footed, puts them in danger spots.
So he
takes
takes
right-footed.
them both-footed, right? Yeah. So takes them in swingers.
Yep. A dangerous player, and like you said, his fitness, but his service. I thought his service was fantastic.
Really good.
Yeah, Tegan, don't come off. Even if your dad wants you to come off in the final,
maybe
just say no.
Lindsay will have to have a chat with old Dustin tonight. So maybe against the grain, or from what I would have thought, the Norwalk Warriors end up in the final. And we did say at the beginning that Norwalk, they're always in the tournament, and they're always going to give teams problems.
Where was Gabe Krall at, by the way?
Did you see him?
No, I didn't either.
I think their depth and Dustin's not afraid to use the depth. Like he gave a kid like a 3-minute shift once, right? Just give this kid a break, right? And
sure.
Experience in this situation and high school level, and they were able to keep the midfield together. We've seen a couple games where it's been 5 defenders and 5 attackers, and I think Norwalk actually had a midfield, which out of the 3-4 teams in this so far, I think it's been no midfield because it gets separated as the game wears on and teams get tired. So
yeah, fair enough. So Norwalk into the final, and we'll have another kind of all local final. Norwalk with the 5 seed against the 6 seed, the Hoover Huskies, after they win 1-0 against Dallas Center Grimes. Let's talk about that one a little bit.
Atmosphere. I like both sets of fans sitting on the same side of the stadium, right in the shade. I think maybe that's why. Maybe Hoover sits here normally when they play a home game. I don't know, but
the Hoover fans are awesome.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere thing, like I was sitting over kind of towards DCG, and I think the DCG student body is right behind the bench. They're complaining all game. It feeds into the bench, which fed onto the field. And then, I felt there was a lot of, body language on the field. And, once they were down 1-0, it was the ref's fault. And, man, I think that atmosphere can be awesome, exhilarating, but I also think it poured in some negativity today.
Both games.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Well, and the other thing,
everybody was complaining the entire. Even when the ref would call a foul for your team, they were still rah 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 rah.
Yep.
Instead of just getting on with it, and like you said, it is contagious. We see it in youth sports, right? Parents start shouting, all of a sudden the kids just start complaining, and
right.
Yep.
No, it's.
Well, and the other, moving on from that, just like the contrast in styles is something we talked about when we were just standing here watching. Hoover, a lot of really clever technical players on the ball. A lot of pace through the team, and then DCG on the other side, maybe a little bit more direct. Maybe not quite as technical, right? Certainly not like on a 1v1 standpoint, because a lot of those Hoover players, they thrive in 1v1 situations. That's like the only thing they want a lot of the time.
Yeah, it sums it up. I mean, I don't know. Right?
I don't know if you saw the pass that led to the goal. I was over there.
What? Okay, so here's a question.
Ooh.
Great pass.
Offside or not?
No, I just don't know.
If you're gonna
the right back's got to pinch in a little bit.
Yeah,
but what a ball!
Yeah.
What a ball!
Correct.
What a
I agree with
finish!
that too. But the ball itself, recognizing that he wasn't pinched in and he slipped that,
Good
and I was
finish,
like, whoa!
And then Hoover just didn't want to just be organized and disciplined. They wanted to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of just. And we were sitting by their bench there, I was at the end, and just going ballistic, telling boys, right, there's 30 seconds left, go short corner. they play it long, or they play one in the middle. It's like, guys, just go short, kick it out of bounds, and you'll win the game. But
give credit to the
I love it.
Give credit to the Hoover keeper too, man. He made some big saves.
He was really good. That one where he dove to his right and he held it too was unreal there in the second
towards
half.
the end, right?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting, this championship matchup, Norwalk and Hoover, because a little bit of a contrast in styles.
Yep.
But at the same time, I think Norwalk, maybe not quite as direct. Like they'll play through the middle a little bit more. So it could be a pretty fun matchup there.
And I love it because 2-3A schools in Des Moines
should have
area and they haven't played each other this year. And I mean, it was cool. Prediction time. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to say, we should mention, right, when we brought the winning team over, right, we brought Hoover over for their little press conference, and they were all chirping the number 10, the guy who scored the goal, talking him up as Gatorade Player of the Year. So it'll be interesting, right? You've also got, in the later game here, you've got Tate Duax with Centennials, one of those players that's up for it. I think they're, like maybe Cole
Sue Boy.
Yeah, I think that Cole Skinner might have been up for it too with Southeast Polk. So just interesting to see how some of these big name players are performing on the big stages. So let's talk about the predictions then.
Penalties. It's going to go to pens.
Well, what's the score at regulation?
Yeah, let's get real specific.
1-1. Penalties.
And?
I'm going to go...
Two great goalkeepers.
I'm going to go, it goes to like the 18th shooter, and Norwalk wins. Kralik gets to hit 2 penalties because it goes double through.
Oh, wow.
Love it. Okay. DB, what are you thinking?
I think I've just got to... I tend to be a homer in these situations. I live in Des Moines, so I'll go with Hoover. I think that just like watching them, they just had so much going forward. But then for them, like, the key to the game is just going to have to be discipline, right? Like, don't get stretched. And then set pieces, right? Norwalk's really good, so that could be their undoing. But let's go, Hoover. Sort it out.
All right, I'll go 3-2. Norwalk, just organized enough to stop the counter in the back. 2 good goalkeepers, though. Like, it could end 0-0 because those guys are good, both of them.
Well, let's see what happens. We'll be back for 4A here shortly, and it'll probably be dark behind us. All right, we're back. A little bit later, we're here for the 4A semifinal, last game of the day. We just watched Urbandale and Waukee Northwest. Prior to that, we watched Ankeny Centennial Jaguars against the Roosevelt Rough Riders. So maybe let's just start there and jump right into it. And actually, before we start, let's just introduce ourselves quick. Our back four here, left to right. We've got Blake Sievers on left back, Matt Sahag at left center back, fittingly as he's left-footed. Got Weston here at right center back, and I'm flying over here as Cafu at the right back. Anyway, so Roosevelt game, Ankeny Centennial, quite the early matchup for us. Good game. Anybody?
It was great. I guess it depends on who's going to say that, but like as a neutral, you know, talk about excitement and intrigue. It was really good.
Predictions ahead of time were definitely Jaguars sliding through easily, and that was definitely not the case. Weston, what did you think about Roosevelt in the first half? Your fellow DMPS school.
I wouldn't be surprised if most people thought after the first, 4 or 5 minutes that Centennial scored, and it's like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, Centennial scores early with a penalty. Tate Duax finishes it. But as we know, Siebes, penalties, they like to come in pairs. And Rob Sorey proved us right. Called another penalty, and Roosevelt scores.
Yeah.
Makes it 1-1.
Yeah, and then about halftime, they were up 2-1, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And
good second goal by Roosevelt, right? Getting down the right wing, hit it across goal, hits the post, and then number 7 for Roosevelt, who's been
scored all the goals.
Yeah, James.
It was his 4th or 5th
weird
goal.
Scores again.
Yeah.
Of the tournament, yeah.
So going to halftime, 2-1. We had a good chat with Coach Ream at halftime. He seemed optimistic. Coach Duax for Centennial, what would you say he was? Sievers a little terse?
Yeah, I mean, it was great because the game has started. I loved it. Like, those guys put him in a little uncomfortable situation. But yeah, he was not thrilled, and so I'm guarantee he's biting his tongue. Right, we mic'd him up a couple years ago at the state tournament at County, and I like it. I love Dewey, but he's honest. But
oh God, I wish we would have stayed down there for maybe another like 5 or 10 minutes to see his reaction when Roosevelt scored the third to go up 3-1. And it was a really, really nice build-up, a little up, back, and through, and then played a nice diagonal ball. And it was one of those where like the second runner ran through and in on goal. Nice finish. They went up 3-1, and Big Daddy Ream was in dreamland, wasn't he? Yeah. Okay.
It
guys,
should be.
come on.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
just,
Absolutely.
like,
I mean, it was the best start in Roosevelt. Just like again,
I just never see Ream smile that big. Like he was smiling, and at halftime, did you see him go over and like pump the crowd up? Did anybody see that? He was like,
no, but they brought the fans. It was good. I loved it. Roosevelt did at least.
yep, for sure.
It was awesome.
Okay, so 3-1 down.
Go to
Sahag,
6-minute mark.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sahag showed up about in the middle of the second half because you just got done with training for the Dowling girls.
Oh, this is why you've been quiet the whole pod.
And
Okay.
yes, but so then when you showed up, we were sitting up there chatting, and what was your
What was your instant
feel?
thought when you got out of the car and saw the score?
Oh, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
not unexpected, you know. So, I mean, I think I said the other night that I thought Centennial was going to roll through the tournament. And so when I saw 3-1, well, I got actually, as I pulled in, it was 2-1, and then it was 3-1 by the time I got out of the car. But, yeah, I think I think the 4-3 result in the end for Centennial is actually a shocking score line. And I think they've got some work to do before Friday, quite frankly.
I love Roosevelt, though. Sorry to interrupt you, Matt. But Roosevelt, it sucks.
I'm not taking anything away from Roosevelt's performance.
Because what a battle, what a fight. And, man, I bet they wish they could go back a little bit and just keep the ball a little more, because it just got to be a little early where it's just going
Well,
the other way.
That's what happens sometimes when you score and you get that lead. You have to, in theory, keep playing and keep pushing, but it's really easy for your mentality to just be like, all right, let's just slow it down, sit back in, let the game come to us. But as soon as you do that, you're inviting pressure.
Well, I mean, in terms of soccer players, soccer skill, like Centennial is the superior team, I think, by a large margin. And so for them to be up 3-1 late in the game like they were as you said, it is dreamland for those guys. I think they just ran out of energy in the end. I mean, I think Centennial just kept pushing and sort of turned it on when they wanted to in the end. I mean, it was almost like a light switch.
Well, and so let's talk about that, Matt. So when we were watching that, so say it was like 20 or 25 minutes when you got there left, maybe?
Yeah.
For the first 10 of that, what were we talking about?
It was just dull. The game was dull. It was dead.
Centennial was lackadaisical in attack, right? Like their best players were walking.
The crowd wasn't in it.
Yep.
No. And we were standing right behind the Centennial crowd, and it was just dull because it looked like the result was inevitable. And, you know, we kept saying they've got to get one soon to make it 3-2. And actually, Siebers said to me, with like 6 minutes left on the clock, he said it's too late. Even if they get one, like it's too late. And then boom, boom.
Siebers being wrong.
I know.
Weird.
Yeah. But I mean, I think, you know, for me, you know, Centennial, and I know we'll get to this game right here now, but I think we just saw Waukee Northwest put together a pretty complete performance and stay steady through the entire game. It is tough to play against a team that sits in, and sometimes it takes 85, 86 minutes to break a team down in a state semifinal and then get the go-ahead goal. I think we saw a very disciplined performance by Waukee Northwest. The penalty caps it off. That is one of the best penalties we've seen all year, only because you could see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
And as he approached the ball, and I think we all like looked at each other before, like there's no way this is not scoring.
No hesitation at all.
Well, we jumped ahead a little bit.
We jumped what in the world's going on here?
Yeah, but my point is, so if I were to look at, I mean, I think, you know, you're going to win the game in the margins, the inches, and the psychological battle is big, right? Especially coming into the final. And I think that is where Centennial has got their work to do before Friday, right? It's like if they want to show up and be the team the best team, you know, that they are. Remember, Brian Duax before the season, like in the pod, says we're the best team on paper. And he's absolutely right. But putting that into practice, I don't think they did that tonight. I think they're fortunate to come out with the result they did. I think they turned it on when they needed to and they got by. I think they can't do that against Waukegan Northwest in the final.
Well, let's talk about them turning it on real quick. So down 3-1, Brock Brazo comes back into the game, I assume. And we were kind of wondering why he wasn't playing. Didn't look like he was hurt. Can only assume he either was gassed or the coaches weren't happy with him. Those would be my only guesses, right? But he comes back into the game, and I wouldn't say he changed the game with his attitude, but his play, he was just like an additional link in there and really helped kind of get Tate back into the game, because Tate Duax, it seemed at that point, man, he'd checked out, right? Like, we were watching him every time he made a mistake or things didn't go exactly the way he wanted it to. He was frustrated, hands on his hips. But then when Brock came back in, it seemed like he was like, all right, my boy's here, let's get to work. So he scores quick to make it 3-2. Brock Brazo with a nice set piece. And I can't remember the boy's name that scored, the junior, but a great little header to make it 3-3 with.
And then at that time you knew, right?
Yeah,
what was coming in extra time, unfortunately.
And Roosevelt, you could tell too, was like they were like shell-shocked a bit. And so it only took a minute and a half or 2 minutes for Centennial to score in extra time. And again, it was Tate Duax and Brock Brazo making it happen. Brock picking the ball up, kind of playing a deep 1-2 with Tate and scoring a really nice goal nice golden goal to win it.
Yeah, for all the kids, come out, work your rear end off, work hard, and you'll never be put in that situation.
That's true.
And hopefully those boys learn a little bit. Because, again, they're good players, right?
Really good players.
Kids. I'm sure it's frustrating for the adults on the sideline and up in the stands, but I don't know, we've seen them enough. Like, get good boys and, like, come out and, like, work hard, play well, get focused, concentrate, and you guys will be fine. But
well, so we're setting ourselves up for a really nice Friday match. Centennial go through, and as Matt spoiled earlier, Waukegan Northwest ran out 1-0 winners with a late penalty.
For our hundreds of thousands of listeners, Ben, I'm pretty sure by the time this gets posted and they watch it, they'll know the result.
That's a good point. So
first half, though, like,
pretty cagey. It's a good game, but it's not like there's not a ton of chances, right?
Urbandale was better.
I thought so, yeah.
They were better. Better chances, better. And then second half got flipped completely, right?
And Matt said it earlier. He was exactly right. Like, they put together a complete performance. They kept the ball well. They had good shape. I mean, how many chances did they give up, Blake? You're shaking your head.
Well, I mean, Urbandale was a better team in the first half.
Yeah, but how many chances did Northwest give up?
I bet you they're going to say Carlos will say too many.
Okay, fair.
In the second half, they were all over Urbandale.
Yeah.
All over them from... Other than that little spell towards the end.
The last 5 minutes, it was like Urbandale flipped it, right? Yep. And like they are so Urbandale's strength is how unpredictable they can be when they get into the final third, right? With some of those players up front, and it was like they flipped a switch, and it looked like they could have a little bit of had a little bit of a chance in those last few minutes, but other than that, the first 35 minutes of the second half was all Waukegan Northwest. The thing I'll say about Urbandale is they put together a really good, except for the penalty at the end, that was a pretty flawless performance. If you're saying the game plan is to sit in and just make sure Northwest doesn't have chances in the box, that's what they did the entire second half. The problem was, the boy gets inside the box, and the Urbandale defender didn't have to follow him, and he did.
No, and that's what we were talking about, is like the attacker's running so fast. If you're a certain type of defender, maybe you can just run him straight out of bounds. But yeah. That didn't happen.
Urbandale goalkeeper, right, to your point, Matt, didn't make a real good save. So I think like they were content, I would think and hope, because there was
he
nothing.
didn't need to make any saves, right? He didn't need to make any good saves.
It comes down to a decision at the end to try and lean into the guy, and he just didn't need to. He could have sort of. I think the goalkeeper cuts the angle off, and I think he probably doesn't score if he doesn't follow him. It is a penalty all day long, I think, and the referee was right on top of it.
So let's talk about the penalty just really quick one more time. I'm trying to catch this kid's name again. I didn't catch it, but he's a sophomore.
Eden? Iman.
Yeah, so sophomore, and he came out there with a ton. Yeah, Iman Alicic.
Oh, this is great.
Sophomore.
While you look it up, man,
I don't know if we can hear right now, but Northwest is coming out. They're pretty pumped up.
What song is that, by the way, boys?
I'm pretty
By the
sure
way,
that's.
look at those speakers. Everyone's got those like JBL speakers. They pull out like on a little cart. Used to be you put the boombox on your shoulder.
Well, like here, right here. Look at the boy
Now
carrying the waters.
They
It looks
carry
like
it
the
out
old
like a carry-on bag
1980s boombox right there.
into the airport.
All right, back on track here, real quick. So, what was it? Iman Alicic steps up, scores a great penalty.
He's a
and
sophomore,
I love,
too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I
sophomore.
love that they're trusting a sophomore to do it, and then he's doing it with such confidence. And
None
then-
of this nonsense in the penalty, right?
No-
like
no
we've seen
stutter
so
step,
many like
no-
stutter steps. The people that line up and you do this whole thing.
Yeah.
He like backed up, got himself on an angle, and
and
just
he did
buried
with
it.
like he took control. It was
Yeah,
his tempo,
he knew
not
exactly
yes.
where he was going the whole time.
Yeah, if you're wanting to take some notes on decent penalty taking, maybe go back and watch that. And so, you guys hate when I say this, or I feel like Blake does at least. First 5, last 5, right? So last 5, they lose their concentration, and then 100% or 99% concentration for Urbandale, 100% failure, right? Like they played an awesome game minus like 30 seconds.
Yeah, let's just give some credit to Urbandale though for the season that they had, right? So that is a team that won it in 3A last year, got bumped up to 4A this year, and now has taken
I
Northwest
was gonna say it was like nothing changed.
all the way to the semifinal. In the last 5 minutes. It's a really good performance. all
Same for
season long.
Roosevelt, right? I mean, like, you want to talk about two teams that came out on the bad end of it. Like, so unfortunate, but, like, I thought, like, proved themselves, had a great little performance, should be hopefully here after a little while. Be, like, super proud, look back on it, and, like, man, we did really well.
So kudos to Big Daddy Ream and the Rough Riders, and of course to the Jayhawks, Urbandale Jayhawks, and Coach Mullins. They came over for their press conference at the end, the Northwest Wolves, and they went straight at us because we've all, or at least Blake and I both picked Centennial, which I love, their little chip on their shoulder. So they're ready to go. Any updated predictions?
I see Carlos over there. Should we invite him in and see if he's willing to share anything with us?
I'm sure he would
Maybe
prefer
a little
not to.
some tactics before the game. Usually he likes to share.
We had a little go at him at halftime.
A little
Did
bit,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I got to post that.
you
We had to
gotta-
wait. We had to wait till after
Oh, we
because
had-
Blake told me we'd wait till after. Anyway, so any updates on our predictions after tonight, or are we still thinking Centennial finds a way to win it?
Sorry, Brody Lynn, but I got Centennial ending it.
I think if Joaquin Northwest wins the psychological battle early, I think Centennial could have a problem. I just like.
I agree with
there
you,
were
Matt.
some moments in that game. I looked out there and I'm like, I just don't like their attitude. I think Centennial is the best team in the state by a large margin, though, and so they should win the game.
Well, that's why we'll play it on Friday.
Weston?
Yeah, I think Centennial is definitely the best team. They need to get things figured out mentally. Like you said, first 5, last 5. Their first 5 was great. Last 5 was great. And guess what? They won.
Well, there you go.
So
There you go, throwing it back in Brackett's face right there.
That's right. Well, so
I think they'll get sorted. I think Dewey will show them the film and
Yep.
be like, boys, you can either go home losers or come out champions, and I think they will.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
think
thing. We
so.
know Dewey is not going to give them sort of gray response.
No.
It's going to be black and white in that locker room.
Yeah, I
and
guess
I've got
it's
a
gonna be
feeling they're
pretty
gonna-
black.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, good luck to both teams. It'll be fun to see little Brian Duax, Carlos ACB matchup in the final. And we'll be there. Tomorrow we'll be back for 1A and 2A, and then we'll see you on Friday for the finals.